Well, hello everyone and welcome. This is Magdalena Grace. I am back for my monthly full moon ritual. This is actually a big one, full moon eclipse in Virgo, which depending on where you are at in the world, it's either Thursday night, really, really late, on the 13th. I believe the West Coast is the only time zone that has that distinction of being on Thursday, maybe a couple of time zones, and the rest of you in the world, it is on Friday, March 14th. If you're new to my channel, again, I'm Misty Magdalena Grace. I go by Magdalena for short. I am a mind, body, spirit alchemist, and I work a lot with physical and spiritual cleansing and rituals, different daily practices that can help you design your best life, your best health, your best wealth by trusting that best wisdom within. For as within, so without, as above, so below. We had a huge interview this week with one of my friends and mentors, Lori Lothian. So we're not going to go as deep into the astrology today as I might normally do. If you see value in this show today, please like, subscribe, and hit the share button. This is a really intense full moon and eclipse in Virgo. I've already been feeling it. If you are already subscribed to my channel, I just dropped a sacred rage practice yesterday with my drum. Today, we're going to focus on the energies really briefly. Then I'm going to be doing a runes reading. I'll encourage you to do a couple of other things on your own time. And then I'll close with a little bit of drumming and intonation with the runes. So if you don't know what the runes are and you're new to my channel, you're in for a treat. They're similar to, but predate tarot, and they're divination tools, symbols. You might compare it to sacred geometry. You might compare it to Sanskrit. Long before we had these kinds of, regular alphabets and words, we had symbols. And so symbols can invoke in you an idea, a thought, a feeling, an emotion, a memory. And these tools have helped me, along with new moon and full moon rituals, make some really big decisions in my life and trust my intuition more. A lot of my clients, they can't trust themselves. They can't trust others. They've lost trust because of trauma, grief, addiction, just life happening for them and forgetting to trust that inner wisdom. And so that's where I come in, is to help you as a mind, body, spirit alchemist bring outside what's already in. You have all the answers inside of you. This is true. And I've learned that myself after a lot of really, really deep work through plant medicine, breath work, meditation, and a lot of work with the runes. So I'm one of the few active runes readers out there. If you have any interest, you can go to magdalenagrace.com. And if you want a private reading, this is a general reading today. First, before I do the reading, basically the Virgo full moon, there's a few things to be aware of at this time. Full moon is all about releasing, letting go, bringing to completion. I also heard from someone, one of my favorite astrologers also that I follow, said that this is a good full moon for forgiveness, letting go. So as you think about your own life and think about the themes of this Virgo full moon, you may want to write down what it is that you want to let go. You may want to grab a candle. You may want to have your own little full moon ceremony anytime on the 13th or 14th would suffice. I'm releasing this on the 12th so that you have it in time. And as I talk a little bit about the energies, I'm also going to do a little cleansing and clearing here. So in a nutshell, the full moon in Virgo has got a lot of energies around the Virgo archetype. So the Virgo, and I'm a double Virgo, so I know this all too well. The shadow side of Virgo is connected to self-criticism. And when you criticize yourself, you oftentimes can be critical of others. Perfectionism. Where in your life are you overly perfectionistic to a fault? That could be hurting you. Where are you maybe over organized and over, doing some of that perfectionism and self or other criticism that may be hurting you, that you want to let go of. Remember, full moon, and especially the eclipse, it like magnifies it by 10,000. So if you're feeling a lot of these themes, self-criticism, self-judgment, trying to be perfect, trying to have it all together. You know, that's the mask that a lot of Virgo energies, including myself, we tend to wear almost like a cross. And it's not yours to bear anymore. There's a saying, get off the cross, we need the wood. And this is great for a full moon. If, you know, you write down what it is that you want to let go, burn it in the fire. And oh my gosh, that's an opportunity to have, you know, your own ritual and your own alchemization of those negative shadows that you're wanting to release and let go. This isn't so much a time, like the new moon is about setting intentions and manifestation. This is more about letting go and releasing. And this is the first of 2 eclipses. The next one will be at the end of the month, March 29th. And that's the new moon. So you'll see me again for another video. So where in your life, and if you want more powerful, potent, specific to your sign descriptions, I'm going to drop the show I did with Lori Lothian on Monday this week. She talked all about what's happening. She was speaking more about the new moon, but you can go subscribe to her channel, and she has a great full moon video if you want to go really, really deeper into your own sign. So go ahead, hit the pause button if you want, and write down what is it you want to let go in your life. Where are you? Also, Virgo is a lot about health issues. Virgo is also a lot about gut health issues. So I actually, myself, I just ordered a supplement online because of stress and life. My gut health was a little off this week. So I'm really, really, really honing in on that and letting go of the stress that's connected to that, but also allowing, you know, my gut to get the right support tools. So you also have to think about, you know, in ritual and letting go, burning it away, surrendering it. Also, is there anything else that you can do that can help support what it is that you do want to see better, more, or different in your life? So again, hit the pause button and or just continue on. I'm going to do the runes reading now to be able to help you have a little more guidance, a little more wisdom. Also, Lori reminded me of this, and I'll remind you of this. You know, this Virgo full moon is connected back to the September 7th Virgo new moon. What did you set or intend 6 months ago in September to get you to where you are today? So that was the new moon intention. So there may be something coming to completion now. And again, it doesn't have to be with these themes of the Virgo that I just mentioned, the shadowy stuff, the self-criticism, the perfectionism, the organization, the structure that may be to a fault. Or maybe you haven't been organized. Maybe you haven't been trying to improve or better yourself, and you're kind of tired of that. You want to take more risks. You want to speak. Virgo is oftentimes under the sign of Mercury. It is about speaking your truth. I know that's one of my things that I'm working on is building better boundaries and speaking my truth. So that's something I've done a lot more since September. And so these are all the themes that you can think about as you look into that. So I'm going to continue now with the runes reading. I'm going to do a past, present, future pull. And as you listen, and I'm going to show you the symbols one at a time and then all 3. I want you to look at the screen and see if there's any divination. What basically that means is something from within you, that divine spark, that God or goddess within, whatever you want to call it, source, creator, universal consciousness energy. The symbol is meant to awoke in you something that can get you to really just tap into what it is that maybe you've been hiding from, maybe you've been suppressing, maybe it's something that needs to come through to be purged on this full moon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tune in. So what do the runes want us to know about letting go on this Virgo full moon? So I'm going to do the pull, 1 card at a time. Past. This is Algi's. Take a look at it first. Take a look at it first before I do the reading. So that's the past. The present day. This is Uruz. Uruz. I'll talk about the timelines next, but what about the future? Yira. This is Yira. So taking a moment, I'm actually going to show you all three at the same time now. I want you to breathe in and breathe out. Take a nice deep inhale as you stare at these and see if anything else comes through for you. Okay. So now I'm going to go one card at a time. And again, when I say like the past, so this is algae. So the past, it can be since the last full moon. It could actually go all the way back to September and the new moon in Virgo. So algae, as you look at it, also see if anything comes through for you. This is about protection, connecting with the ancestors, connecting with the divine within. Have you been asking for protection since whatever the past definition is for you, since the last full moon, which was 30 days ago, roughly, give or take? Where in your life have you been asking for help, asking for protection, or guarding your heart, maybe setting boundaries? And if maybe there has been some toxicity, and as you've maybe spoken your truth and asked people to respect your boundaries, maybe it hasn't been received well. But here's the thing, you got to speak your truth. And algae is oftentimes then after you speak your truth, are you asking for protection? Are you asking for, basically creating that safe space? Are you protecting your meditation time? This is what's happened again in the past 30 days. So algae is kind of like the antlers of a deer. You can see that in there, thinking about being protected. Current energies on this full moon in Virgo is Uruz, which is very cool because Uruz is like the aurochs. This is a animal, like think of it like bison or the oxen that pulled the plow for our ancestors. Uruz is all about, and it goes with Virgo. It's about health, strength, physical strength, mental strength. You've heard the phrase, "He's strong like an ox." You think of that ox pulling, and this is an ancestral time, so pulling the plow through dirt with lots of rocks and boulders, but they kept going. They kept going no matter what obstacles were in their way. So this Virgo full moon is all about plowing through the obstacles. It is, of course, about health. So again, I can't make this up. The runes don't lie. The runes are connected to the energies, and my ancestors are speaking through me. So it's very connected to them, and the astrology is huge for our ancestors. So this is very applicable. So where in your life do you want to be steadfast? Is it your health? Is it your relationships? Is it your finances? Maybe this is a good time if you want to start a budget. Virgo is that perfectionist, which can be shadowy, but it can also be very organized. Maybe you have the opportunity to create spreadsheets. Maybe your finances have been an obstacle, and you and only you can change that. So that would be something, even though this is about letting go, where can you let go and become stronger through leveraging the power of this full moon? It's also really applicable because it's about fearlessness. The aurochs or the ox, they're like fearless. They keep going no matter what. So what do you need to let go of so that you can be more fearless? Maybe there's a difficult conversation you need to have. Maybe it's just about honoring your health and letting go of toxic people that maybe are negatively impacting your health. How does this apply to you here and now with this Virgo full moon? And then last but not least, this full moon, of course, will lead you to the new moon in September in Virgo. That's the Virgo season. And it could also simply be in the next 30 days. And if I'm not mistaken, I pulled this card last month too, either on the new moon or the full moon. I don't keep track. But if you follow me every month, I do runes readings and full moon rituals and reminders of how to let go and or call it in if it's a new moon. So Yira, in the next 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, because of this full moon and what you may choose to let go of. Remember, you got to take action. This isn't like a psychic reading, and this isn't absolute truth. Whatever lands with you, keep it. If it doesn't land with you, let it go. Pick the best and leave the rest, since this is a general reading for everyone. So Yira is about cycles and seasons. And it's interesting because the vernal equinox is 1 week away. A week from today, we start spring. We plant those seeds, then there's a harvest that comes 6 months later. So what you let go of now will cleanse and purify and help you in that September harvest. Okay. So letting go of something with strength and steadfastness, again, that was uruz. You got to do something with this, right? You reap what you sow. It's all about harvest, all about the cycles of life. Kind of in some respects, you might say, it's not quite the cocoon and butterfly analogy. It's more about you reap what you sow. What you plant now, you'll reap in the fall. So from this Virgo full moon and letting go and being strong and steadfast, being true to yourself in the next 6 months, you will reap a harvest. Takes hard work though. You got to remember the farmers. Since I grew up on a farm, I know this all too well. You've got to, pray for rain, but also still do the watering where you need to. The sun will help, but what else can you do to keep those seeds planted, pulling the weeds along the way, and be diligent to reap that harvest? It doesn't just happen on its own. Okay, so that's the runes reading today. And what I'm going to do to close this out is a brief meditation. So like maybe 3 minutes of intoning the runes. They all have a sound, just like, the Sanskrit, there's seed sounds. The runes also have that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my trusty drum here that I borrowed from my beautiful medicine sister, Belinda, here in Minnesota. I'm traveling right now. So I'm going to drum while you go ahead and meditate. If you need to hit pause, get comfortable, and then hit the play button, go for it. But I'm going to drum and you can join in. And then after this, as I close, then you can burn your piece of paper, whatever it is that you wrote down on your piece of paper that you're wanting to let go of. You could do that now actually, or when I'm done drumming, whatever comes through. Just allow the drum to bring you into a trance-like state and my intonation to help things come from your intuitive mind, from your heart space. Okay, so go ahead, get settled, feet firmly planted on the floor. I'll go for just a little under 3 minutes. Okay, invite you to close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale. Go ahead and inhale and exhale. Do one more for good measure. Deepest inhale into the belly and the chest. Feel them rise and expand. And exhale. Go on a little inner journey with me, hoping and trusting that you can hear this drum. Staying there with your eyes closed. If they were closed, doesn't matter if they are open. Taking a few more seconds of silence. Just tune in with what it is that you want to let go of on this full moon. Go ahead and take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Connecting with your heart space. Staying here as long as you need. I'm going to slowly close. Remember, as you write it down on your paper and then burning it when you are complete. Under the full moon, if you want, a lot of times they say don't be outside under an eclipse full moon. You could do it in the daytime. Do it in your fireplace, in a burning bowl. Just burning and letting it go and allowing the wisdom of the runes to speak through you in your dreams. You could write these down, draw them, take a look at them before you go to bed. Sometimes that's what I do. Until next time, here's to your best health, your best wealth, by trusting that best divine wisdom from within. Have a great full moon. Bye-bye for now.
Subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Hire Magdalena for a runes reading or healing session by emailing support@microdosingforhealth.com.